My name is Ashley Valenzuela, and this is my final video for the Digital Teaching and Learning Master's Program at Azusa Pacific University. I graduated from San Diego State University in 2006 with a bachelor's degree in Child and Family Development. While attending college, I worked in a restaurant and was offered a full-time job immediately after graduation. I worked in the hospitality industry as an event coordinator and manager for 6 years in restaurants throughout San Diego and Los Angeles, until one day I finally decided to pursue my career in education. I did my research and quickly discovered that Azusa Pacific University was the best school for me. APU is highly recommended to me by friends and family. They offered a combined program for your teaching credential and master's, and offered a master's in digital teaching and learning. I originally came into the Master's of Education program and quickly changed my mind when I heard about the Educational Technology program. As a child, I was never really quite sure about what I wanted to be when I grew up. I knew that I liked to be around people and would often play school as a child with my friends and cousins. It was not until my first Child and Family Development class at San Diego State that I knew I was destined to be a teacher. I knew that I wanted to make a difference in a child's life, and I thought that working with children was fun. I wanted a rewarding career, and I wanted to inspire children to persevere and be the best that they could be. Coming into the program, I knew the basic steps of using a computer, but I never really knew how to use anything past that. I would use it for simple things like creating a document, checking emails, and browsing the internet. This program has taught me how to use my Mac to its fullest potential by using iMovie, GarageBand, and Keynote. It has taught me all the different tools that Google has to offer, like Google+, Google Docs, Google Earth, and Google Lit. It has taught me how to use YouTube as a resource in learning how to do things and how to incorporate it in my curriculum. It has taught me how to incorporate Skype as a way to connect to the world outside of the classroom. It has taught me how to create and execute a successful web quest for my students. It has taught me how to use Discovery Education as an additional resource for my visual learners. And it has taught me how to use various educational websites like Read, Write, Think to engage in my students' learning. In EDUC 512 with Christy Hernandez, I learned how to create a web quest. I learned tips and shortcuts in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. I learned how to correctly use Adobe Acrobat in creating documents for my classroom, and I learned how to incorporate LiveBinder. In EDUC 514 with Bill Selleck, I learned how to produce videos in iMovie and GarageBand to integrate in my curriculum. I learned how to use resources like Clip Converter to render videos, and I learned how to make a podcast. In EDUC 515 with Dr. Jeffrey Lee, I learned about the educational apps for the iPod Touch and the iPad. I learned how to create a blog, a classroom website, a screencast, and a Prezi, and how to teach children about digital citizenship. In EDUC 522 with Dr. Jennifer Corduff, I learned about Bloom's taxonomy, Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences, and how to successfully integrate technology into the curriculum. In EDUC 526 with Dr. Joanne Gilbreath, I learned how to do an action research plan and how to successfully create a unit plan integrating technology. I learned more about the history of education and my growth as an educational technology student. My action research plan was based on dieting. I wanted to find out if exercising 3 times a week for an hour and a half would increase my weekly weight loss. Before conducting this research, I was enrolled in the Weight Watchers program for 3 months and had successfully lost 18 pounds until I reached my plateau. I found it much harder to attain my goal weight, and I would lose less than half a pound each week and became very frustrated. Within this program, you are given a number of daily points that you are allowed to eat. Everything you eat and everything you do has a point value. In addition to those daily points, you are also given an extra 49 points for the week for foods that are your guilty pleasure. Since following just the tracking portion of the program did not work in losing the extra pounds, I put my action research into full effect. For 3 weeks, I worked out 3 times a week for an hour and a half. I concentrated on cardiovascular exercises that included running, using the elliptical, Zumba classes, biking, and the rowing machine. I continued to eat power foods like fruits and vegetables and tracked all the food I ate. Week after week, I did my weekly weigh-in, and I have come to the conclusion that yes! Exercising for an hour and a half 3 times a week did increase my weight loss. I am now only 7 pounds away from attaining my goal. My unit plan is for the 2nd grade and focuses on learning about culture, heritage, and family ancestry. This 3-week unit will follow California State Standards and ISTE technology standards. Several types of technology will also be integrated into the curriculum, like creating a word map on Wordle, watching educational videos on Discovery Education to help students understand new concepts, utilizing spellingstudy.com to practice new vocabulary, accessing the classroom website for further resources throughout the unit, interacting with a smartboard to view lyrics to new songs and videos, browsing the internet to find pictures that represent a student's culture, heritage, and family traditions, using YouTube to watch examples of the final family folder project, and creating a family tree on MindMeister. This unit will incorporate all of Howard Gardner's 8 multiple intelligences, which include logical mathematical, visual spatial, verbal linguistic, interpersonal, bodily kinesthetic, musical rhythmic, naturalist, and intrapersonal. His theory states that there are a wide range of cognitive abilities and that all children have their strengths and weaknesses, and feels that all children learn differently. This unit will also incorporate Bloom's taxonomy, which was created by Benjamin Bloom. This model encourages students' higher order of thinking so that they can gain their maximum learning potential. In week 1, students will be read 3 stories that will help explain the new concepts as well as the new vocabulary. They will learn, sing, and dance to songs called In the Past and Family Tree. Some activities will include collaborative brainstorming and creating a KWL chart, browsing the internet to find pictures on Flickr that represent their family culture, heritage, and traditions, creating a word blaster to get more familiar with the new vocabulary, and creating an interactive timeline on Read, Write, Think that represents their milestones. In week 2, students will learn, sing, and dance 2 more songs called Timeline and Ancestors, Ancestors. They will also use the flashcard app on their iPod Touches to map out their questions for the interview. At home, students will be asked to interview their parents and/or grandparents about their family traditions, heritage, and culture. After they have conducted their interviews, the students will reflect about what they learned. Week 3 will be the final week of the unit. Some activities will include creating a word map on Wordle, having a spelling test, and assembling their family folder. Students will also be given the opportunity to share their family folder with their peers and family. This is an example of what the finished product of the family folder should look like. This project will incorporate a handful of activities that were completed throughout the 3-week period. Throughout the unit, students will be graded individually on the completion of the assignments throughout the 3-week period. Their main grade for this unit will rely on the production of their family folder and the presentation given to their peers and families. This program has helped me become more confident with technology and has ultimately made me a better teacher. I look forward to implementing what I have learned from this program in my own classroom. I appreciate the passion my professors have shown me as it has motivated me to learn more. I will keep my promise as a lifelong learner to expand my knowledge in educational technology, and I look forward to attending more classes at Azusa Pacific University on digital teaching and learning.